First, I would like to just sit on the floor with you to share with you our common point here. You are in Korea. I was born in Vietnam, but we both sit on the floor. In the modern times, that means nowadays, people stand and sit on chairs. And almost, many people in Vietnam now abandon the tradition of sitting on the floor. That's the reason why I would like to sit back here with you in the beginning of my workshop here. So we are the same, sitting cross-legged. In America, Americans people cannot sit like this. If they cross their legs, they fall. I told them that Asian legs are more flexible than American legs. Okay, today I don't know what to tell you, because Vietnam is a small country, but it seems there's a lot of things to tell you about the wind instrument tradition.
베트남은 아주 작은 나라지만 그 관악기에 대해서 할 말이 아주 많다고요. 그리고 우리가 아까 말씀하신 것은 이제 다 들으셨겠지만 같이 이렇게 좌식 생활하는 면에서 베트남과 한국이 같고 이런 민주적인 것이 있더라고요.
Now I can stand up because somebody out there can see me. You can see me as a Vietnamese who comes from some mountain areas of Vietnam. In fact, I was born in the lowland area. I'm wearing the costume of the mountain people. So it seems that it doesn't match with my face. Yeah. That is to tell you that Vietnam is a small country, but there's not one people. There are many people, ethnic groups, lowland and highlands. So let me tell you like this. Today I want to tell you about the wind instruments of the lowlanders and the highlanders. Highlanders are those who are living on the highlands or mountain areas of Vietnam.
이 선생님께서는 본래 태생은 그 저지대 그냥 밑에서 태어나신 분이고요. 그렇지만 이 베트남에는 아주 다양한 그 민족이 있고 또 그 지대도 이렇게 다양한데 지금 선생님이 오늘 말씀해 주실 것은 이 지금 의상에서 알 수 있듯이 이것은 고산족 의상이거든요. 근데 고산족 지금 음악에 대해서 말씀하시겠습니다.
The reason why I wear this costume is because of my field research among the minority ethnic groups in central highlands of Vietnam.
그 베트남의 그 중부의 고산족에서 지금 그 연구를 좀 필드업을 하셨었기 때문에 거기에 대해서 오늘 말씀드리겠습니다.
So I live with the people called Stien, Bernard, Manong, Jarai, the Ade, the Trim, the Jer, the Paco, etc. There are so many ethnic groups on mountains of Vietnam.
이 고산족 소수 민족 중에 이렇게 너무 지금 말씀하신 것처럼 이렇게 많은 민족이 있습니다.
And so, let me tell you first about the music of the minority people. If we go from mountain to the sea in Vietnam, you can see many kinds of wind instruments, and some of them are really new to many of you. Because before I did field research in Vietnam, I thought that minority ethnic groups in Vietnam don't have many instruments. But when I arrived there, I came to know that there are so many instruments, and particularly the wind instruments are made in a very special way that I couldn't think of.
처음에 그 부산 지방에 이제 필적으로 가시기 전에는 그렇게 관악기, 뭐 악기가 일반적으로 아주 다양하지 단순하리라고 생각했는데 막상 가셔서는 그 악기라든가 그 만드는 방법에 있어서 다양한데 아주 놀라셨습니다.
Now let me remind you of the population in Vietnam. Or anybody here can tell me what is the population of Vietnam? The whole Vietnam. How many people are there? Anybody here can tell me?
베트남의 인구가 몇 명인지 혹시
25 million.
They are your neighbors. They are your neighbors. You must know them.
25 million.
25 million. Please give a little bit more.
40 billion?
More than that.
More than 60 million.
More than that.
85 million.
85. You are too generous. Close. Very close. 74. 74 million of Vietnamese who are living from north to south. And among these people, how many ethnic groups are there?
55.
55. Very close. Excellent. Yeah. 54. Good. 54 ethnic groups living in a small country.
Wow.
This small country is like the shape of, I think, the size of Korea, North and South combined. Yeah. Do you need to translate, or is it that everybody here understands English somehow? So let me go on to save time. There are 54 ethnic groups, but the majority people are called Viet. Viet. Yeah. And the Viet, in English, people call Vietnamese.
Yeah.
The real Vietnamese word is Viet. They are living along the coast of Vietnam, from north to south, on the lowland areas. That means most of them know how to fish. They eat fish, vegetables, and they can plant rice. Mountain people, they are living in a large size of population in central area of Vietnam. And this area itself consists of some 20 ethnic groups, speaking 20 languages, different. I know that somebody here who specializes in the music of the Philippines or Indonesia, you know that there's a lot of different ethnic groups in these countries. But Vietnam is kind of new to many people because in the earlier research in Vietnamese music, people ignore the minority people's music. They just talked about the lowlanders, the music of the majority Viet people, but they ignored about the music of the Bana, the Stem, the Charai, etc., and the Cham. So now, in the recent time, I began my research among these ethnic groups. I learned their culture. I stay in the still houses, still houses with sticks like this and put the floor on, and they eat rice. They most of the times they eat vegetables because they're not close to the sea. They cannot get fish. They eat vegetables, and once or twice a month they can eat meat, like pork meat or water buffalo meat. That's why there's a ceremony called water buffalo feast. When people kill a water buffalo, big, huge, that is for the whole village. It's a feast. So in that festival, people play musical instruments and gongs, string instruments, wind instruments, and gongs ensembles. Two major kinds of musical instruments in that area are the gong ensembles and the bamboo. Bamboo trees are everywhere. So people chop the bamboos to make musical instruments, and each piece of bamboo represents the sound of one gong. Today I'm going to show you a few instruments of the minority people, and then later I will show you some pictures of the majority people. Let's go first with some slides that I have here. Do you have somebody here to take care of this? This machine I don't know how to manipulate. I'm kind of like, how do you turn it on? Have you ever used this? Okay, yeah.
I'm not afraid. This car is right.
Yes, good.
Study in the United States?
This Vietnam, lowlanders are living along this coast, and here there's a mountain range called Trường Sơn or Long. Trường means long. Chang, maybe in Korean, probably, I don't know, I'm not sure. The long mountain that borders Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. This is the place where I did my film research along this area. And there's another ethnic group, other ethnic groups living near the border between Vietnam and China. And the Viet lowlanders live along the coastal line here. So there are two kinds of music that we present in the Piri festival this time. The music of the lowlanders and music of the Highlanders. Next, please. This is the instrument of the Ade. So it's a kind of flute, like you can, it looks like suli. Yeah. Ade flute, vertical flute. Next, please. It's so dark that in picture that I cannot see. If you turn off the light, then maybe you can see. Another weird instrument. Yeah, you see a little bit here. The man is blowing into a gourd, and there's a bamboo tube going across the gourd. Inside the gourd, on the bamboo tube, there's a reed.
Ah.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, so inside here there's a reed. You know harmonica? Yeah. Harmonica is like harmonica, there's one reed. Yeah. Inside. Next please. It's called takta. Takta. This instrument. There are 3 holes, finger holes. And when people play, the musician play, he touches the instrument with the thumb, his thumb, and making an additional note with the thumb here. And this instrument is often played at night. It's very nice music. Next, please. Another instrument that has more bamboo tubes than the takta. This one is called ding nam. Can you say ding nam? Ding nam. Ding nam is a gourd and 6 bamboo tubes. There's 1 finger hole on the bamboo tube. 1 each. The musician has 10 fingers. He used 6 out of his 10 fingers to play this instrument. Inside the gourd and on the bamboo tube, there's 1 free reed made of metal. And when he blows into this gourd, the sound comes out to these tubes. But the instrument sounds only if he covers the hole. if it doesn't cover the finger hole, it doesn't make sound. Next, please. Another instrument of the ethnic group in Vietnam is called khen. Khen is like in northeast Thailand and Laos. Khen is played by the Trian people in the Quang Nam Da Nang province near the Lao border. Because this ethnic group lives both in Vietnam and Laos, they share common instrument that looks like a Lao khen, the Trian. This ethnic group is called Trian. And he is accompanied by two lutes. Next, please. Now we go to the lowland area, leaving the mountains. Say goodbye to mountains. Go to the lowland area. We have this kind of transverse flute, which is so common, in East Asia. So people play like this. This is a court. The musician who plays court or royal court music in Hue, Central Vietnam. Next, please. Another kind of wind instrument, which is made of wood, and it is an oboe or shawm. Two musicians play this instrument. It's called can bow. Can bow. Can bow. This instrument I play is kind of double reed instrument. It looks like the instrument of the Uzbekistan people who play in the concert here. Looks very much like that. And there's one instrument of the Uzbek in that hall down there. You can go see. It looks exactly the same like the Vietnamese instrument. And also exactly the same number of finger holes. That is quite interesting. Okay, next. In a larger group, the two instruments are played together with other instruments, but led by the drummer on that side. This is not quite a court music ensemble because now royal court music is almost gone. And some people try to train the new generation, a young generation, to learn the court music, to play. So in the old days, these two instruments together with some 20 instruments like that play in a separate group. String instruments on another group. So it's called Đại Nhạc, the big ensemble with the wind instruments, and Tiểu Nhạc, small ensemble with the string instruments. Nowadays, people, because they don't have enough musicians, they play together. And this is a very important task for the Hue people to reconstruct or to revive the tradition. And thanks to the effort of many musicians who are surviving the war in Vietnam. And also thanks to the effort of some world scholars, such as Professor Yamaguchi. He is here in that corner of the room. He helps the musicians of Hue a lot to rebuild the music of Hue. That is really great task that I think we should praise his work for that. Thank you, Professor. Okay, now I think that's all. To put you in live action, now I want to show you videotape. Do you think that it can be shown? You like to turn it on? And press play. You can turn the light on, please. Is it right? Yeah. Okay, so, I'm sorry you cannot see well, so please turn it off. How about volume?
Maybe turn the light on.
Yesterday there was somebody. Yesterday there was somebody here to help, but today there's no technicians at this corner.
Can we have the light again?
자, 안 끌까? White color? Kiri
Can
volume.
we have the lights?
No, there's a volume square.
볼륨을 찾아서 소리를 뭐지?
Oh, wait, keep the lights on.
Action with the sound. There's no sound. No, this is for the video tape, the recording. Picture goes out somewhere here. It's machine. No. On the top. No. Who are technicians here?
아니 아까 없었는데 어떡하지?
The speakers here. The should be on this machine. The speakers right here. Yeah, great. Okay, light off, This chord music. Okay, just to show you a little bit of action here. So, the light back on, please. I want to see you. Yes. Okay. Now let's go back to the mountain areas, and I will show you this instrument. If you said you think that this is a wind instrument, you must blow it like this. Right? Wind instrument. Doesn't make sound. To play this instrument, you must do like this. Use your hand. Give wind into the tube from your hand, not from here. Okay, can you play like that? Unique in the world. There's only this instrument that people play. Wind instrument by hand. But you don't touch the instrument. You play a flute, you have to touch the instrument to your body. But this is purely wind that goes into that. So you don't touch it. Magic. Anybody wants to try? Yes. Yes?
Take a deep breath. No.
I show you already. first you must give a lot of air inside the palm, but at the same time you close all your fingers together. Yeah, and then air comes up here. Would you like to try? Yes. Yes. Contest. Up a little bit, yes. Good. Okay. Yes. Okay, now this tell you something. This tell you that first, among these three friends who tried this instrument, she makes it sound the most, right? You know why? Because first, you must be young. I'm sorry to say so, but it is true. Rex is that, you know why? Because if you are young, your fingers are still full of flesh. And when you close it, it is well closed. The older you are, the more open these fingers. And next is that it must be women who can play better than men on this instrument. Because you have really good fingers. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah.
Try. He knows the trick. Yeah, you can play like this, like your mouth. Before playing this, you try to play like this in your mouth. Good. Yeah. Okay, so that instrument is of the ethnic group called Sedang. Sedang. S-E-D-A-G. Sedang.
And
what is the name of this?
Yeah, okay. Sedang. Sedang. And the instrument by the court musicians called Ganbo. Yeah. Okay, now another instrument of the lowlanders. But Miranda will show a little bit of the technique of playing flute in Vietnam. You know, flute, the transverse flute, exists in many countries, but Vietnamese flute sounds a little bit different. Come up here, please.
Many of the techniques are similar to the Chinese flute, but not quite as
Music.
not quite as virtuoso. But the new style of Vietnamese compositions for bamboo flute follow the pattern of the Chinese contemporary compositions. But basically the techniques are pretty simple.
Before Miranda plays, let me tell you that she is an American learning music in Hanoi, Vietnam. And now she is almost like Vietnamese because not only she plays a Vietnamese instrument, but she speaks Vietnamese language. And also, you know, that is good for her to experience a Vietnamese instrument because she plays Western flute. Yeah. Western flute.
Yeah, which is very different from you, but
And now she.
okay. So techniques. Let me see. One of them is that which you taught that one. The suling. And bending the notes. Or let's see what else. Think about
Just play a piece for them. Play Hey Moi, for example. Yeah. Vietnamese cannot compete with Chinese in many complicated techniques with the fingers. But one thing that makes this flute Vietnamese is that the scale, the mode, special ornaments. We cannot play note by note. And when she plays the Hey Moi, this is kind of opening song before a musical theater called Hát Chèo. People play this song with the singers in order to begin, the night of a performance. And she plays with it's always ornamented like that. And with that ornamentation with that is not Vietnamese. Vietnamese must be smooth, and the melody is like that. And also syncopation. When you play the flute, you can say you see, it's always syncopated. So that's why I feel like Korean music is closer to Vietnamese music than the Chinese in that context of concept of mode in Vietnamese, because the mode is reflected by the way you ornament a note, and also rhythm, syncopation. So that this we have only two instruments today to show you, but somehow the here you will see it because we run out of time now. Here is another instrument that I'm going to play for you on the stage later.
Don't play it now because they have to come over there.
Yeah. Okay. Another instrument is like this. Like this instrument, I don't touch instrument, except I hold it, but I don't touch it when I play. If it's a pan flute, like this, you touch with your lip, but this instrument is not touched by your mouth. Like this, you blow into it. You want me to play a little bit?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That is what you play, the bass instrument. Okay, this instrument is of the Mana group. It's different ethnic group from this. Okay, so do you have any question?
What's the name of this instrument?
He heard.
He heard. So it sounds like the name.
Yes. It sounds like the name, right? Another name is Ding Chun. Ding Chun. Yeah. Yeah. This instrument is called Klong Put. Klong.
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 Put.
Put.
Klong Put.
Klong.
He heard.
He heard.
It's easy. Yeah. Okay. Well, any question?
Used by what people? What people use
The Benar.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Benar.
Here. What people use the this instrument?
The Sedang. Highland. Yeah. Mountain. Yeah.
Do you play melody with this sedan also?
No.
No.
These
Just-
two cannot get together.
Just some rhythm. Oh.
Yeah. Because music of this cultural area is so diverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. They live on the same area, but they don't play the same music. And some music are prohibited to play. Like bamboo xylophone cannot be played by the Mnon. It is played only when there's funeral.
And you said you have many kinds of ornaments in Vietnamese music. Also, do you have some kinds of signs of ornaments on the notation?
We can notate that, but it's not complete. Yeah, because Vietnamese music, unlike many other music, Vietnamese music of the lowlanders are improvised mostly. It's like Sancho.
Court music.
Huh?
Court music.
Court music
Yeah.
is also improvised a lot. People learn from teacher to student by ear and memorize.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they can notate, but it's not complete.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your attention.
지금까지